what I will say, and
3
it's
months.
quite 3 months, yeah, whatever, Alexis, 3. The last 3 months, and it's quite hard sometimes to actually sort of eloquently describe this, because it's actually impacted things that I didn't imagine it would impact. So there's an absolute sense of structure in my life as the CEO, right? So as the CEO, I've taken on board what you've been teaching me and the team, and I may not have integrated it quite the way that the team have, because I don't have to hold myself to account to you in the way that they do, but I have integrated it. And what it's done is it's created a sense of peace, a sense of clarity, and structure. So I no longer worry about things not getting done, because I used to be concerned about that, because if I didn't do it, someone else might not do it. I wasn't great at delegating, and I wasn't excellent at holding people to account. So I would delegate something and then forget, and they'd never do it. So what I will say is that I've got, I'm released of the sort of lists. So there's a few things that I have to remember doing, but it's a handful a week, literally. And it's often not anything to do with the business. It's often like admin tasks, because everything within the business, as you've created this structure of issues, of one-to-ones, of scorecard, of this accountability spreadsheet, means that as you envisaged, the things that you have to do are taken care of somewhere down that road, somewhere in that structure. And then alongside the scheduling within a calendar, which is what you've taught us, it means that ultimately everything's taken care of. And I know I don't have to remember, and I don't have to worry. And if it doesn't get done, it means it's okay. It means it will come up at another time. And that's incredibly freeing and reassuring. And before you came, I wasn't really, I was a owner, not an operator. But now that you've been here for 3 months, I'm just a leader now. I'm not, I mean, I'm beyond that in many ways, because I don't have to do any operational stuff, really. I do it if I feel like it, if I fancy it, if I want to, if I choose. So I don't even have to engage, really, because actually, even though the team want me to make decisions, if I don't make any decisions, they will make them eventually, slower, but they will just make the decision, or there's a structure where they will. So I think that's the main thing, is how it's taken the pressure off me. And it's so from an ADHD perspective, how ADHD feels for people with ADHD is like just this massive clutter, right? There's just stuff everywhere, and it's coming in and it's repeating itself, and it's rolling about, right? And there's just so much. So what you do for a company is you just sort of get all that stuff and you put it in order. So it's in like a filing cabinet, and you don't have to remember where the key is for the filing cabinet, and you don't have to remember what sections they go in, because you've put them in sections. So I don't even have to think about the sections. I just open my office door, and it's just all there, and it's very, very clear, and it's very reassuring. And so that is the biggest impact, I think, for me, as for my character. So for an artist, and for anyone who has the kind of brain I have, I think the work that you do is massively beneficial. And even if it was only for 3 months, it creates order in chaos, basically, which is really, 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 really helpful, because that takes the pressure off. And you have to let go for that. You have to just let it happen. And I think that actually some of our team are in some way resisting that order, you have to literally let go and have and allow that order to be created, because it won't obviously pick up everything. Some things get left behind, right, or they fall away, but that's fine. It means that they're not essential. But in terms of, so that's the general thing it's had on me, the general impact it's had on me, and it's really I can't sort of emphasize how massive it is, because I used to spend a lot of time at my desk just doing stuff for the sake of it, like because I'm the boss and I should do shit, and I was like, oh, I should do this and I should do that, and I used to spend a lot of time just wasting time, like looking for things that I should be doing, and sort of interfering and trying to sort of be a bit operational, because I just thought I better make good use of my time, and I don't do that anymore. So when I have time off or when I have downtime, I use it. I don't work on the business. I maybe daydream about, what I'm going to do in the business, but I don't actually waste any time messing around on little crappy things. But in terms of the structure that you've put in place, in terms of the values, people, data, that kind of stuff, clarifying your values as a company is hugely beneficial. It creates that springboard for all decision making. It creates a backbone, a clear sort of direction of travel that means that a lot of questions are answered automatically by the notion that you've got these values and that's how you work. And it's very reassuring. And it's helpful because people remember that, and it holds everyone to account, and it puts you all in the same boat, and it creates more clarity again. The scorecard is hugely useful because actually I've never measured anything in my life, and I like measuring stuff. I like figures, but I didn't have a structure for putting those figures in place. So I would look at various things and I would have an idea, but there was no consistency to it. And even though our scorecard, our figures aren't moving that much and they're kind of the same, it's the notion that they will, and that you'll have that history, and it's very helpful for people. So that's really useful, and something that is actually very hard to implement if you're in the business. But you can come in objectively and implement it, and it's it seems quite easy, but of course it's not when you're in the business. The knowledge center is a relief. I haven't really looked at it much. I think it will never be enough for me because of everything in my brain and me just wanting to dump it. But I think that the knowledge center is really good. It's a really good start, and I guess we'll be able to test it out as we hire new staff. But I think that the knowledge center is an ongoing thing that you should always encourage, which you are, people to continually add to. And you've mentioned this, we're going to increase these, improve these processes and get better at it. And it's a constant moving target. And I think that's really good, because a really good knowledge center could just you could just get rid of so much other crap that you've got, in paper form, on Google Documents, and that clarification and cleansing is really useful as well. So those are really good. And the final thing that I've got on here, which is traction, which is essential and very difficult to be disciplined to do, and that is really key. Some of these things are so simple, and you would think, oh yeah, whatever, we can have a weekly meeting. We'll just have a weekly meeting. What do we need? Why do we need Alexis to tell us have a weekly meeting? But you don't have weekly meetings. You just don't. And I've been doing this for 10 years and I've never really done weekly meetings. And so even though it seems very easy, it's not easy to put into place, and it's not easy to maintain. And that in itself is a huge, massive component to our success. And so we're 3 months in, and it's a different business. I'm a different person in terms of the way I'm much more relaxed. And it's a joy for me, and I'm also very clear on where we're going, and I know we can make it. I know we can get there, because we're systematic. It's just a system, and there's just a process, and there's a path, and there's a road, and we're following it. So I'm really excited about the next 9 months, because I think that it will be astonishing when we look back. It's a slow, it's fast and it's slow in these last 3, but there's going to be huge areas of growth. So it's really what you do is really good, and I think it could be replicated in my other business, and it could be replicated in any business. And there's still much for me to learn, but it's really good stuff. Really good stuff. So I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Katy.
It
is so fulfilling to hear this. Yeah, especially the part where I'm so inspired by the idea of freeing people. And I work with business owners because they have a bigger impact, but I love freeing people. Like, I think employees need to be free up from this idea that they have to work and that it's limited. And so the words you use, I'm really feel really good, because that's like precisely what I want people to feel, like a sense of peace and freedom. So thank you so much for sharing this with so much detail and so genuinely. It really give me a lot of energy as well to continue.
Brilliant.
It's good.
It's great. It's great.